WWE just insulted every single luchador who ever stepped foot in a ring, and they are laughing all the way to the bank about it. The 4th of November 2025 will go down as the day WWE proved they learned nothing from decades of cultural insensitivity, and El Grande Americano's NXT debut is exhibitor in the case against this company's complete lack of respect for wrestling tradition. But here's what's going to make you rage: half the wrestling community is defending this garbage, calling it entertainment and telling everyone who's offended to lighten up. So let me ask you right now, before you click away, is mockery acceptable if it gets ratings? Drop your answer in the comments, because this is about to get heated. El Grande Americano walked into NXT on the 4th of November wearing what can only be described as a costume store reject interpretation of Lucha Libre tradition, and WWE presented this character like it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. The commentary team was laughing, the crowd was eating it up, and somewhere, the ghosts of Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio Sr., and every legendary luchador who built this business are absolutely disgusted. This wasn't an homage. This wasn't a tribute. This was a parody, and WWE knew exactly what they were doing. Let's talk about what actually happened, because the details matter here. El Grande Americano's entrance featured mariachi music mixed with American patriotic themes, which already tells you everything you need to know about how tone-deaf this character is. The mask design looked like someone Googled Mexican wrestler and copied the first image they found, with zero understanding of the symbolism, tradition, or cultural significance behind Lucha Libre masks. And the gear? Stars and stripes combined with random Mexican-inspired patterns that looked like they were designed by someone who's never been south of the border. The character came out waving both an American flag and doing exaggerated Lucha poses that looked more like a bad impression than actual respect for the art form. And you know what the worst part is? This could have been amazing if done right. A character that bridges two cultures, that celebrates both American and Mexican wrestling traditions, that honors the legacy of luchadors who paved the way, that would have been groundbreaking. But that's not what this is. This is WWE taking elements from a rich cultural tradition and turning them into a punchline. Trivia time: can you name 3 legendary luchadors who competed in WWE and actually represented their culture with dignity? Drop your answers below and let's honor the real legends. Now, before the defenders come at me screaming it's just entertainment and you're being too sensitive, let me explain why this matters. Lucha Libre isn't just wrestling with masks. It's a cultural institution in Mexico, deeply rooted in tradition, family legacy, and national pride. When a luchador puts on a mask, they are carrying the weight of generations of wrestlers who came before them. The mask represents honor, sacrifice, and commitment to the craft. It's why losing a mask in a match is treated as one of the most devastating moments in a luchador's career. It's sacred. So when WWE creates a character that treats all of this like a joke, when they slap together a costume and some stereotypical music and call it paying tribute to Lucha Libre, they are essentially spitting in the face of an entire culture's contribution to professional wrestling. And the fact that they did this on NXT, which is supposed to be the wrestling-first brand, makes it even worse. This wasn't some throwaway character on Main Event. This was a featured debut on their developmental flagship show, which means WWE put thought, planning, and resources into creating this mockery. The match itself is where things get even more infuriating. El Grande Americano faced off against a genuinely talented wrestler who's been grinding in NXT for over a year, putting in work, having great matches, and slowly building a following. This should have been an opportunity for that wrestler to get a shine, to show what they can do against a special attraction opponent. Instead, El Grande Americano dominated. This cartoon character with zero history in NXT came in and made a legitimate talent look like a complete nobody. The match lasted approximately 12 minutes, and for the first 8 minutes, El Grande Americano controlled almost everything. Now, I'll give credit where it's due, whoever's under that mask can work. The Lucha moves were crisp, the pace was quick, and there were moments of genuine athleticism that had the crowd popping. But here's the problem: all of that athletic ability was wrapped in a package designed to mock the very style they were performing. It's like watching someone make fun of your culture while simultaneously stealing from it. Question for the comments: is it possible to separate the character from the performance? Can you enjoy the wrestling while hating the gimmick? Let me know where you stand. The finish of the match is what really sent me over the edge. El Grande Americano hit a modified 450 splash that the commentary team immediately dubbed the American Dream Splash, because apparently we can't even let the luchador have a finishing move with a Spanish name. The opponent kicked out at 2.5, which got a decent pop from the crowd because they were invested in the near fall. But then, instead of building to a competitive back and forth that would elevate both performers, El Grande Americano immediately hit another aerial move and got the clean pin. The post-match celebration lasted longer than the actual competitive portion of the match. El Grande Americano played to all four sides of the crowd, posed with both flags, and the commentary team put him over like he was the second coming of Rey Mysterio. Meanwhile, the opponent who just lost was barely acknowledged, rolled out of the ring, and we immediately cut to a backstage segment. No respect shown to the person who just did their job and tried to make this debut look good. But wait, it gets worse. After the match, we got a backstage promo where El Grande Americano cut a promo in broken Spanish mixed with English, using every stereotype you can imagine. References to me familiar mentions of crossing borders to achieve the American dream, and heavy-handed patriotic messaging that felt like it was written by someone who thinks Taco Tuesday is cultural appreciation. The promo was clearly designed to be inspirational, to position this character as someone who represents the best of both worlds, but it came across as patronizing and reductive. Here's what's really grinding my gears: WWE has access to incredible luchadors who could have consulted on this character, who could have ensured it was done respectfully, who could have made El Grande Americano into something meaningful instead of a caricature. Rey Mysterio is right there on the main roster. Santos Escobar has been killing it on SmackDown representing Lucha Libre with pride and dignity. There are countless wrestlers from Mexico and of Mexican descent who would have jumped at the chance to help create an authentic character that honors their heritage while appealing to WWE's audience. Drop a comment: should WWE have consulted actual luchadors before creating this character, or is creative freedom more important than cultural accuracy? But WWE didn't do any of that, because they don't actually care about cultural authenticity. They care about creating characters that generate buzz on social media, that get people talking, and that can be easily marketed. El Grande Americano is designed to sell merchandise, to get trending hashtags, and to be controversial enough that people like me make videos criticizing it, which only generates more attention for the character. It's cynical, calculated, and completely in line with modern WWE's approach to character creation. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: who's under the mask? Social media is already going crazy with speculation. Some people think it's a main roster star doing a one-off appearance. Others believe it's a newly signed talent from Mexico making their WWE debut. There's even a theory floating around that it's a former independent wrestler who's been completely repackaged for this gimmick. And you know what? It doesn't matter. Whoever it is made a choice to participate in this, and they are going to have to live with the consequences of that decision. Because here's the reality: if this character takes off, if El Grande Americano becomes a major player in NXT and eventually gets called up to the main roster, that performer is going to be forever associated with what many people view as a disrespectful caricature. Every interview, every media appearance, every interaction with fans is going to include questions about the cultural sensitivity of their character. Is that really worth it for a paycheck and some TV time? The most frustrating part of all of this is that there are glimpses of something good buried underneath all the problematic elements. The wrestling ability is clearly there. The athleticism is undeniable. The crowd was engaged during the match, which means there's potential for this to be a popular character. But all of that potential is poisoned by the way WWE chose to present it. They could have created a luchador character that modern audiences would love while respecting the traditions of Lucha Libre. Instead, they went for cheap heat and easy marketing. Final trivia question: how many luchadors have won world championships in WWE history? This one's tough, so take your best guess in the comments. Let me be absolutely clear about something: criticizing El Grande Americano isn't about being too sensitive or not understanding entertainment. It's about holding WWE accountable for doing better. This is 2025. We're past the era where stereotypical characters and cultural mockery should be acceptable in mainstream entertainment. WWE claims to be progressive, claims to value diversity and inclusion, but then they roll out a character like this and expect everyone to just smile and applaud because it's all in good fun. The 4th of November 2025 episode of NXT should have been a celebration of Lucha Libre tradition meeting WWE's platform. It should have been an opportunity to introduce a character that honors the legacy of legendary luchadors while creating something new for modern audiences. Instead, it was a masterclass in how not to represent a culture in professional wrestling. El Grande Americano's debut was technically impressive, athletically sound, and crowd-pleasing in the moment, but it was also tone-deaf, culturally insensitive, and representative of everything wrong with WWE's approach to diversity and representation. The fact that this character is being positioned as a babyface, as someone we're supposed to cheer for and support, makes it even more problematic. WWE is asking us to celebrate something that many people find offensive, and that's not okay. So here's my challenge to WWE: if you're going to continue with this character, bring in actual luchadors to work with them. Consult with people who understand and respect the culture you're borrowing from. Make El Grande Americano into something meaningful instead of a punchline. Show us that you're capable of learning and growing, not just doubling down on questionable creative decisions because they generate short-term buzz. And to everyone watching this video, I want to hear your take. Am I overreacting? Is this harmless entertainment, or is it a legitimate problem? Should WWE scrap this character entirely, or can it be salvaged with better creative direction?